Yo, what's up guys? JJ here, and today we're going to talk about Java Fern care and propagation. So if you like no nonsense guides that get right to the point, hit that like button and stay tuned. Java ferns are pretty easy to take care of, so whether you're new to the hobby or you're an experienced aquarist that maybe hasn't tried plants before, Java ferns are a good place to start. They're a nice sort of medium-sized plant, and they're super easy to take care of. They're an epiphyte plant, which means you don't plant them in the soil, so you don't even have to worry about getting special substrate. You can just tie it to a rock, tie it to a piece of wood, or sometimes I use super glue. You can use, I think it's called cyanoacrylate, anything like that. There's some Gorilla Glue that does it, I think is what I usually use. But anyways, you stick a Java fern to a piece of rock, a piece of driftwood, and basically, it's going to stay alive. Now I could talk about all the details and the pH levels recommended and the temperature, but long story short, if you're keeping tropical fish in your tank, you have the right parameters to grow Java ferns. And it's that simple. You could grow Java ferns in a bucket. So if you got a tank with a little bit of light and a little bit of nutrients, you'll be just fine. Now, the reason I ended up making this video today was somebody posted on the Facebook group because their Java fern was ready to propagate. There was all kinds of little saplings all over it. And I got to show you guys how to do that. There's two different ways to propagate Java ferns. And I just did one, so I can't show you that today, but we'll talk about it. And the other one, they look like this. So here we go, guys. I've got my driftwood. It's got my Java fern attached to it. And these little extra growth here are just saplings. They're just completely new plants. There's nothing wrong with the plant. If you have these and see these, that means your plant's really healthy and you're doing a great job and you're going to have more plants soon. Now, if I don't do something with them, usually I end up just catching them on my filter intake. So I'm going to peel this off and put it on probably a stone I have sitting around. So we have two little saplings right here with the roots on them. And all we have to do is stick those on anything and stick them back in the aquarium somewhere else. And we'll have a new plant and it'll grow again. Now, while I've got this driftwood out, I have this glued onto the wood right here. Sometimes it's just stuck it in between the cracks and the holes of this wood, but this one was glued. And the other way to propagate is right here at the rhizome, which I'm not going to do today because I've done it recently, so it's a little shorter. But if you can cut in between those leaves on this main stem part, as long as you've got roots on both parts of this stem or the rhizome area here, then you can just cut that off and replant it anywhere you want. Pretty simple plant to propagate in that way also. So I got my cyanoacrylate super glue gel, and I'm just going to put a little dab on this river stone I have. Stick my new baby Java fern right on it and leave it alone. You can drop it right in the tank. You don't have to wait for it to dry if you use this type of glue, which is the one glue that I know is aquarium safe. I've been using it for a while. I did my research. Anytime you add anything to the tank that's not water, you make sure you do your research, whether you're getting new fish, new plants, or just adding things, and making sure you know how to take care of it so they take care of your fish. Well, there's my new plant. Let's drop it in. Now, as you guys can see, I've got a couple in here that are, if I can get this blood parrot out of the way. I'm not feeding you right now. You had breakfast. So as you guys can see, I've got a couple down on these stones. Alright. Hi, Erwin. I'll just look at them for a second. Look at those little goofy guys. Anyways, I've got a couple on those stones already. I think this tank started with like 2 Java ferns, and either by picking off the saplings or cutting that rhizome part, we've been able to fill up the whole tank with them. So that was pretty simple. We've got it in the tank. They are pretty slow growing, but in a couple months we'll have a nice, healthy, full-grown plant. Oh, there's one thing I forgot to say, guys. If you buy your plants and they're grown out of water, like I know PetSmart sells the little tubes of plants, your plant will die. But it's not dead. Don't throw it away. Don't get rid of it. It's just like melting back and it'll adjust to the new lighting or in the situation under the water. And then once those above ground leaves are melted back, new ones that are adapted to your tank will grow in, and your plants will be super healthy. So that's one thing I want to forget. Don't get rid of your Java ferns if you get them and they are not thriving right away. Give them a chance to melt and come back, and you should be fine. So that's it for this one, guys. If you're looking for something to start you out in plants, and maybe you've been afraid because you don't want to spend a bunch of money on plants and have them turn out not so nice, Java ferns are probably a good place to start. I think my tank started with 2 Java ferns, and I've just been letting them grow and propagating and adding them to more and more tanks. So hopefully this video was helpful for you, and if it was, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.